Hey Rockstar, Steve aka Void here, and I want to welcome you to this week's Pajama Jam. For anybody celebrating Halloween, happy Halloween. I got back home about an hour ago. We took out my baby daughter to go trick or treating. It was super cute. She's not even 10 months, and so let me see if there's a picture that I can share over here. She is super, super cute. Let me see right here. A little impromptu picture over here. Let's see. Yeah, what a cutie. So this is this is my daughter over here, Milana, and tonight she was Milama. So she was a little lamb and super, super cute. That was a lot of fun. It was kind of cold outside, but it was definitely worth it seeing her smiling and laughing and stuff. There was all these scary things that I know most kids would have been super scared about, and actually the kids that we were with, they were kind of scared, and so there was like witches and stuff like that, and she was just laughing. It was so funny. That stuff definitely would have scared me when I was a kid. But anyway, so we got home, and it is time for tonight's Pajama Jam. So tonight we're actually going to be looking at Never Going Back Again by Fleetwood Mac. And before I get to that, I just want to quickly talk about Pajama Jams. And I see, hey Ken, how's it going, buddy? Good to have you here. Pajama Jams, the purpose of Pajama Jams started off as my way of practicing just at nighttime, just getting some of my chops down without going rusty and all that stuff. And I thought, hey, what better way to, what would be better than just that would be to broadcast the practice sessions. And so what I do, if you've never been to a Pajama Jam, is I actually learn the song in 30 minutes or less. Like I learn the main part or whatever I set out to do. In this case, is the riff, the intro riff here. And so it's going to be in 30 minutes or less up to speed. And you might think, well, that's kind of weird. Well, what does that have to do with me? Like, why would I be broadcasting myself learning the song? And there's actually two reasons. Number one is because if you're a beginner, then as a coach, I've been playing guitar for about 22 years now. I've been coaching for 16, and so when I coach people how to do things, I have to put myself in their shoes, and I've also used drawn on years of experience helping people to work out their playing, and I use very common, I use the same strategies over and over and over, and apply them to the particular song that you're working on. But if I'm trying to demonstrate something, I'm sometimes pretending to make mistakes, or I'm pretending to struggle with a part. And so I thought, well, this would be cool if a beginner watches me working on something that's beyond my level of ability. Then I'm going to be put in the same situation that you might be in if you're working on some chords or whatever might be giving you trouble. And so I put myself in that sort of danger and that line of fire, and I basically talk my way through it so that you could hear what I'm thinking as I'm playing it up to speed. So for beginners, I'm putting myself in a situation where I'm a beginner with this song, and I get into some trouble. I work my way out of it, and usually there's some really good lessons involved there. So that's number one. Number two is that for intermediates, if you actually want to learn how to play the song, then you're gonna watch me work through it, and then you can apply the same techniques to your playing. So beginners, it's more of watching and gaining insight, and maybe there's some entertainment value there as well, but there's no pressure to learn the riff that I'm about to learn. I'm really just sitting here and practicing. It's great to have company. It's great to have you here. Let me know where you're from. Let me know, say hi, and let me know also what you've been working on, because at the end of the session, I also want to make time for Q&A. So if you have anything that you're working on and you need help with, then I'm more than happy to help. So with that said, because I know that a lot of people are kind of like, get on with the show, let's get to this song, Never Going Back Again by Fleetwood Mac. Actually, I haven't heard this song in a very long time. And I was having a conversation with someone reached out to me on Facebook asking for help with their guitar playing, and they're like, there's this Fleetwood Mac song called Never Going Back Again, and I'm struggling with it and all that. And so I'm like, oh yeah, well, let me hear that. I haven't heard that one in a while. And then I heard it and it was like, oh, this is great. This is actually kind of tricky. And this would be a fun one for a pajama jam. So here we are and welcome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up the tab over here. And let's get this screen set up. Yeah, so I'm going to load up the tab. And as you can see here, we've got, if I move my video over, we've got guitar is tuned to drop D. The 6th string's tuned to drop D, you can see right here, and then capo 4th fret. Okay, the tempo is 86 BPM. So let's get right to it. Basically, what I'm going to do first, as you've probably seen in other pajama jams, is I'm going to kind of scan through the part that I'm going to play. So I'm not just going to start driving the car, I'm actually going to scan through. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to see what's involved in this riff. So here I'm seeing some quarter notes and eighth notes, which means some slower notes and some faster notes. I'm seeing hammer-ons. I'm seeing kind of gets busy over here. I'm seeing a pull-off over here. I'm seeing some more busyness, more busyness, more busyness. Slide, forward slide over here. That's pretty much it. This is where I'm going to play up until the vocals come in. And then I'm also seeing that it's based around a D chord. Then this one's based around an A chord. And then back to D. So I'm kind of taking note of some of the things that are happening in this tab. And let me know also, can you see the tab? It's very important that you can see this, so the stuff that I'm talking about is that you're able to see that. And also I'll just do a quick camera test over here. Should be able to see close up of the guitar, that's the guitar cam, and then there's me again. So just let me know if you can see all of that stuff. Please just let me know in the comments. So that's what we've got going on over here. I see fingerstyle, so there's no pick. Lindsey Buckingham, he definitely does that a lot, is fingerstyle. He's a very, very underrated guitar player. And as I can see here, this part's pretty involved. When I listen to the track, I listened to it right before the session here. I talk about like putting myself, like throwing myself in the fire. I didn't hear the track. I should have prepped by listening to the track quite a bit and getting it in my head. But I listened to it at maybe like 2 minutes before the session here. And one thing that I did recognize is that there are 2 guitars in this song, in the intro especially. There's one going on the right side, one going on the left side. So if that's the case, then that means that what this tab is doing here is it's trying to mimic both. It's trying to mimic everything into one guitar, okay? And that's okay, that's totally fine. But that's, as you'll see in the strategy that I use, there's going to be some things that we can get away with. Okay, so playing this whole thing, yes, this might be what's on the record, but even Lindsey Buckingham, I just watched a live video about 10 minutes before that of just getting, just kind of seeing what he's doing, and he's not playing this part exactly like this. So I know that he's kind of easing off, and I know that there's some extra stuff going on. So when we're seeing this tab here, it doesn't mean that I have to play every single note here. But when we get into it, we'll see if we can and see how we can work around it. Okay, and there'll be some important lessons. I already know there's some stuff that I'm going to talk about here. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to just get into it. And I'm actually going to start the timer here. Let's start a timer. So it's going to be we'll set it. We'll go 33 minutes. I don't think anybody's gonna say anything if I learn it in under 33 minutes. So rather than 30. Okay, so let's just get right to it. What I'm gonna do is first I noticed that actually with this part, and even if you hear it on the record, there's these bass notes here. We have the open string here, we have the open string here, open string here, open string here. I see these patterns emerge. Open string here, open string there, open string here, and then this stays another open string, but there's always an open string on like this one halfway through the bar. The beginning of the bar, halfway through the bar. Beginning, halfway, beginning, halfway, beginning, halfway, beginning, halfway, beginning, halfway, beginning, halfway. So that's a pattern already. So that's what I'm going to do first. When I break this part down, I am going to look at that part first. A lot of guitar players, they just jump right in and try everything and play it at 1 mile per hour, and they stay stuck at that for pretty much forever, and then they just chalk it up to they can't play the song. So I'm going to start with the basics, and I'm just going to go with the bass. Hey Philip, how's it going, brother? Good to see you, man. So I'm just going to go, the first beat is 1, so it's going to be 1, and then this is going to be on beat 3. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the first 4 bars over here. And then I'm going to go here. I notice this goes to the A, scanning through, playing this here. I'm going to go, hey Pete, what's up, brother? So then I'm going to go to the A section, 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have the bass that I'm playing. I'm playing this part. Will this allow me to do this? So I'm playing basically this. So this note, and then this note, and then this note, and then this note. So I'm getting these bass notes happening. What I also notice is that there's sort of like this repetition here. So I go here, here, here. There's a little move on this part here, but I notice like it's kind of going like 0, 4, 0, 4, 0, 4, 0, 4. 0, 4, 0, then this one goes 5, but it's close enough that I can kind of see there's a pattern that emerges. 0, 4, 0, and there's nothing going on over there because I think there's a little bit of a break. Then 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 4, 0, 4. So I've got 0, 4s, 0, 5s, and this is kind of what it sounds like. It goes like this. It goes... like that, and that's kind of, it's a pretty common pattern. Like what you'll see it kind of grow out of this, but this part here, and then the next section over here with the 0, 5 like this, it's just going to kind of keep repeating that for a bit. See, it goes 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, and then back to the D. Okay, so it goes like this. It goes... whoops. So it goes 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 4, 0, 4. So it's easy to get overwhelmed by a tab like this because you're looking at all the stuff that's going on, and that's why, I mean, having a coach to show you the steps, like first learn the bass notes there, then you're probably playing some alternating bass line next, okay, and then you would probably add some of this extra stuff. But does that make sense so far? How we're not just jumping right in to exactly what's happening and trying to get every single move happening. We're actually breaking it down and playing it strategically. So when we play, what happens is we're instantly in some kind of groove. So like this before, I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have this, that bass that's like the simplest that you can get, and I'm playing it pretty much up to speed. And then after that, we get some alternation going on in there where it's going. So you see how I'm playing this, I'm playing up to speed, but different versions up to speed. So I'm not just going with face value, basically. I'm not just like taking this song as like playing all the stuff at once, because that's just, I'm not going to be able to play it fast like that. So I'm building it organically. Now that I've done that, now I'm going to start taking a look at some of there's some signature stuff in this song. There's this. Okay, and when you hear it, you'll start to hear that stuff. So there's this, there's this, there's this, I think the last part. Like, so let's listen to this. This part here. It's like flat and then a hammer on. Yeah. So that part. So we're going to want to keep that. So that's one thing. Then we're going to want to take this. It's another thing. Okay. Probably even this too. Like these two moves here. And you'll hear that in a second. And then any one of these, like, so these are called sixths. Oh, not sixths. What am I talking about? These are sorry, minor, and yeah, major sixths. I'm having a little bit of a brain fart there. Yeah. So here we have these signature parts, and this last part here, the slide here. And I'm trying to go as fast as I can here because we got 25 minutes left. So there, and then this. So that's actually this whole stack here. So what's interesting, and you can probably already hear, for anybody who knows this song, this Fleetwood Mac song, you can probably already hear some of those parts in there. So for example, if I take, so first I started with the bass, right? I was going like this. Then I went like this. And then I went with the signature parts, so okay, and then the last part. So my point here is you could already see how one of the elements that I incorporated, and this is something I haven't done in Pajama Jam before, is I took a song that has these signature parts and I showed how you can play it up to speed when you take little bits of it. So what we're doing is we're playing it up to speed and we're taking away, so that's the part that we're adding, is like this authentic to the track, like we've got these signature parts, but the part we're taking away to make it actually happen in however long that was, let's say like in 7 minutes, is I'm taking away all the extra stuff. Okay, I'm taking away all the extra stuff. So I'm adding the signature, but I'm taking away the extra stuff, and that's what allows me to play it up to speed. If I just jumped in and tried playing all the stuff, then I can add all of the notes, all of the stuff, but what I'm removing is the ability to play up to speed. Does that make sense? I'm taking away the speed or even the steady pulse, because what I would be doing is I would be trying to play every little bit. I'd be going like first note, next thing. To the point where it doesn't even sound like music and you might get lost in it. Sure, you know that this happens and then this happens and this happens and this, then this, but it's just a string of instructions. It doesn't sound like music. And it's going to be frustrating because sometimes it's like you wait for this day where it will sound like music, and yeah, that might happen. It's not guaranteed. It might happen, but it's probably going to be pretty slow, or it's going to take a really long time, and I just don't want that. I've got 23 minutes to learn this thing. Okay, so right now we know the bass. Right now we know some of the signature parts there. Okay, then... Okay, so I'm going to go into high gear here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like add some of the movement into that bass part. I'm going to go back to another version here. Okay, I'm not going to do that part there. That's what I'm going to do. So. Okay, so I'm kind of doing like a bit of like a Frankenstein over here. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go into chunks. So I'm gonna hear this chunk right here. I'm gonna just learn this, okay? And I'm gonna do this with no tempo. I'm just gonna learn the moves. Okay, now that that was pretty easy. Now that I got that chunk, now I'm gonna play it up to speed with the framework of this boom, bum, boom, bum. I have this like alternating bass that I developed before, like that. So I'm gonna go like this. So yeah, so that part is already, that's signature, right? Okay, so that part's good. That chunk is good. I probably don't have to practice that again. I'm going to, this looks a bit complicated here. And this is, let's just see what happens here. So I'm going to stay in the same position that I was just in. Okay, and I'm also going to go. And by the way, guys, this is helpful. Can you see how I'm breaking this down strategically? Like, you might just load up a tab and start playing and not think about it at all and just like get stuck on this. Let me know in the chat box if this has happened to you, where you just get stuck on that. It's happened to me a lot, that's for sure, before I started working on this strategy. So let's see this part here. That's such a crazy part. I don't know if I'm going to be able to... What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out some of the notes here to see if I can just make it single, still maintaining this. But let's go, I got to find the feel here. Yeah, so I'm taking out some of the notes here on purpose because I know for a fact that there's 2 guitars on this track, so I'm not going to stress myself out about some extra details right there. I'm going to play the feel, because in my head this song goes like this. Boom, ba, boom, da dum, da do, da do, dum, da dum, ba dum, boom, da dum, da dum, da dum, da dum, da dum, da dum, 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 boom, ba dum, bum, bum. That's like the sort of sketch of it. So I'm just going to make that happen, and I'm going to like the tab may not even be accurate, but as I mentioned, there's probably mimicking 2 guitars at once. So let's see what we got. And I'm looking down at my right hand here, my picking hand, and I'm making sure that I'm doing this both times, keeping that bass in there. Doing 3 times without making mistakes with some of the classic strategies. Feeling how like it gets absorbed. It might be more than 3 times without making a mistake. Okay, cool. So I'm really trying to fast forward over here. Next bar. So the next chunk. So I'm exposing myself to these here. So yeah, I'm not going to stress myself out about this random detail, this 2 here. I'm not going to stress myself out. We can't be precious. We got to, if we want to play up to speed and make this so that anybody recognizes that, it's like, okay, cool, that's never going back again, Fleetwood Mac, then who cares? They're not going to say, oh, there was that 1 note missing. No way. Not even close. Can't be precious. Don't take it face value. Don't take tabs face value. That feels great. Happy. And then later, once I'm confident with this, then I can add that back in. Okay, that's cool. So no trouble yet. This one was good. The second one was okay. Third one was good. Fourth one. So I'm going to scrap this 5 here. Feel free to make choices like that, guys, when you're practicing. I mean, you don't have to do exactly what the tab says. So play those two. So I play them together, and then I play this separate. Okay, I'm just kind of like strategizing here. 16 minutes left. And then the bottom 2, okay. Kind of going back a step, going forward, just double checking. Well, that's cool. Okay, going back a step, going forward, like that. Okay. Moving forward, just because there's 15 minutes left. So here, oh, I'm a little bit nervous here. Just whether I'm going to get this or not. Not nervous hanging out with you guys, but like nervous whether I'm going to get this. Let's see. And then this part, very signature. Okay, there's another part here where I'm going to remove some stuff. I'm going to remove this. Cool. So... Ben Denson, love this guy. What the heck is this? This is called a pajama jam, buddy. I got my pajamas on, playing a riff here. I'm practicing. I'm broadcasting my practice session with strategies so that you could learn faster. So let's see here. It's no group. This is my Facebook page. This is my official Facebook page. So every Wednesday I broadcast a pajama jam. So and because this is acoustic, which I normally play electric, I'm feeling a little bit of the strain here. I gotta lock this in with figuring out the pattern. I gotta okay, and then the second half. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna screw it. I'm just gonna do exactly the first part. It's probably gonna be temporary, but I'm gonna do this first part twice. So I'm gonna go. Sounds good enough to me. Like, totally fine. That is totally fine, guys. You can do whatever you want on a tab, and if it sounds like the song, like I said, the song goes like this: boom, ba, boom, ba, dum, do, dum, do, dum, 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 ba, dum, dum, ba, dum. Then here, da, da, do, da, da, do, da, da, do, da, da, dum, bum, ba, dum, bum, bum. In my mind, that's how the song goes. When I hear it, this is how it goes. And so the exact note, whether I play this one or I play another one or I play this one or this exact pattern twice, like this first half twice, whatever it is, that is fine for you to decide that this is what I'm going to play right now to make this thing happen. That's, yeah. See that? So I keep that bass going. I keep those fundamentals that I started with. And guys, like Ben, Johnny, welcome, by the way. If you go back and watch this with a replay, you're going to see some of the strategies that I use to learn a part like this, to where you can... you'll see how the foundation really helps me at this stage here, because I have this. So, yeah, it's great. So now I blew past that barrier because I decided I'm not going to be precious. I'm not going to take a face value. 12 minutes left. Let's see if I can get away with doing the 4 times. Yeah. I'm totally fine with that. Going through here. Yeah. And then I'm going to end that right there at that last note. Okay? Because there's extra stuff here, yes. Let's see exactly what it does. Yeah, it's a better ending, like just for this, because I'm learning the intro, and I said I was going to learn the main riff here. I'm just going to end. So it's going to go, yeah, and that's going to be the end of it there. So let's go back, review, and now we're going to chunk. We're going to bring the chunks together. Okay, so you see I simplified everything. I kept the signature stuff. I'm keeping what matters. Okay, I started with what worked right away to get me playing up to speed right away. That was the basic stuff, and then I upgraded the basic, and then I looked at just the signature stuff, and then I started weaving the stuff together. The chunks, I looked at it in chunks, and now I'm going back and reviewing and making sure that I can actually play this thing all in one shot. 11 minutes left, so okay. Cool. So I got that. I'm trying as much as possible to play it up to speed. If I wasn't able to, if I was playing it and it felt strained, then I would play slower. What was this again? This I kind of forgot this. This part here, I have to remember. Maybe what I'll do is I will little box around here. So this chunk I've got to look back at. Okay, so yeah, that's cool. Okay, and here, so it's like a faster chunk review. That part's okay. Looking back at this here, the modified. Oh yeah. Okay, that gets me through here, and then this last part. That I feel good about. Okay, so now I'm going to start to connect these parts. I'm going to actually do this here because I have a problem area there. I'm not going to go 1 to 2. I'm going to go these bars here. I'm going to go. And I'm gonna go slow, by the way. I'm gonna do this elastic time. So I'm gonna try to keep them all connected and not stop. But I'm gonna kind of slow down a little bit and go back up to speed, and then slow down a little bit when I'm feeling a little bit of mental strain. So yeah. So okay. Then I'm going to try connecting this part here, and this part here. So, okay, that part is fine. I feel pretty confident about that. So now let's work out this part here. 8 minutes left. This part I'm gonna forget. I can't get my mind around this one here. That part, yeah. Then I guess I'm gonna have to rely on rote memory for that. Just that. feel of it. Okay, so I'm gonna go these first two here. So almost. Okay, this is actually what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play up until the part right here to where, like, to the half of it, because this is where it starts to get a bit hazy, because it's not really a set pattern that I can identify there. So okay, I feel good about that. So I'm isolating where the problem actually is. The problem actually is with this. See, as I'm practicing, I'm noticing this is the problem. So I'm just going to practice that here. And I'm scrapping this note right here. So, okay, cool. So back to, yeah, it feels way better. Okay, now let's try both here. It's an adrenaline rush. 6 minutes left. Needs a little bit of brain power on that. Okay. Yeah, this part, man, this bar. Okay, I'll find a way out of it. In isolation, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna focus on the bass notes. Way better. See, I focused on the first thing that I did, this. I focused on that when I was practicing just now, and it actually kept me in line. All the extra parts were additional. Like, it wasn't shifting my focus. I kept on that bass. So, and it actually kept it in line. That's great. So now I'm gonna actually play the whole thing slowly with that elastic time. So, forgot that. I forgot this part here from memory, so I might have to look. I might have to look at the screen. If I make a mistake or two mistakes, I'm going to go back. So if I get there. Okay, almost there. The pieces are there. In my mind, it's getting there. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. It's getting there. It's formulating. 4 minutes left. Okay. All right, crunch time. So, there's no point doing this. There's no point reviewing the beginning. It's going to be... It's that part. It's more of a memory of, like, that I have to play 2 notes, or 3 notes at once, I should say. Okay, I'm going to play it super slow here. So, can't make mistakes. So, I keep playing that. Okay, right now I'm not going to be precious. I'm going to actually just play through mistakes and see what happens. Taking different strategies, different approaches. Okay, see what happens? I stopped when I was super precious about getting this bass line perfect, but now let's just see what happens, because if I hop on stage and I play quick and dirty, just then this part, that transition I'm going to have to work on. Okay, so this transition, now I know where I need to practice. It's right here, this part, isolating this one chunk. Crunch time, holy smokes. Actually I could just do this. Go isolated to save some time for the shape. So okay, 1 minute 30 seconds. Let's see what happens here. So here that switch is so hard there. Okay, gonna take a second here. Oh, this might be this is gonna be a photo finish. Let's go. Okay, that was like a wonky, slower version. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I think I maybe bought a couple of minutes just to see if I can get that happening just a little bit better, but I'm pretty happy with that. My fingers are pretty worn out, like more of the joints and stuff. If I was playing this on electric, I'd probably have some more mileage. But playing it kind of like blasting through and kind of in a way like figuring out my way through to where if I was playing that, I'm not like, being precious of all the little notes there, because also on the recording, like, it's crazy. You have two guitars happening at once. So this is, even what I'm playing here, what I learned tonight, it's playing more than one guitar at once. And that's just not, it doesn't feel as natural. It's trying to accomplish something almost like solving a puzzle, but it's not really what Lindsey Buckingham is doing. If you watch, he's taking so many breaks on the performance. If you look this song up, he's taking so many breaks when he's playing it. He's doing kind of like this. He's kind of just playing the he's going kind of like this. Kind of like that, you know? It's what I just played there is a little more what he does. I probably even played a little bit too much. Thanks for the love, guys. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. This one was a lot of fun. This one was tricky, man. This one was tricky. I want to play it better than what I played because I want to kind of have this under wraps, and I want to make sure that you understand how being precious really holds you back. I was even getting a bit precious there. But if I play it like this, then I sleep on it, and then tomorrow I play even better, and I can refine some of those parts that I wanted to be coming through a little bit more. So yeah, let me just see a little bit. I'm gonna match this part as well. I'm gonna match that, like the first half, second half thing that I did down here. So yeah, that's better. Yeah, and then also there's this thing. I can even like get there's the notes, then there's the feel of it that you can add afterwards. You can go, so you can kind of get that feel with the palm mute. So that's kind of it there. I'm going to just take a little bit of a breather here for my fingers, and I want to answer any questions that you might have about this or about the process that I showed here. Whoops. What am I doing here? Right here. Yeah. So the process that I showed here. Also, let me know what you're working on. If you have anything you need help with, we've got about 15 minutes here. I'll stay on and answer any questions that you might have. I'm very happy to help you out with your playing. I really appreciate you watching this. This is a concept that I don't know if everybody would understand in the sense of, you go on YouTube and you see these videos of guys who are like, they're saying they're going to like teach you a song, right? So they're going to say like, put your index finger here on the 5th fret and put your ring finger here on the 7th fret, and here you play with the thumb here. Like, you're kind of just following along, and there's some good lessons and some not so great lessons. But to see a guy practicing, especially in his pajamas, and talking about the strategy of how to piece together a song and actually build it up, it's probably not everybody's cup of tea, but I appreciate you being here and watching this, and hopefully if there's any insight, if there's any insight that you gain from that helps to save you time when you're practicing. Man, if there was something like this when I was learning how to play, I'd be all over that, because this is really what I was interested in, is thinking about guitar in a better way, in a more strategic way, watching professional learn and how a professional learns, and good practice strategy. I would have killed for that. I mean, that's just I think it's gold in my opinion. I'm so happy to broadcast that, because I think that's what's one of the things that's missing. So I'm seeing Philip saying happy with where I am in this, but having such a hard time with any chords other than superglue. Totally fine, bud. So Philip, I will have to shine the light on Philip, because Philip and we were chatting back in August, and he was interested in my Play From Day One program, and he was talking about musician and how he was working with that and how he's following the bouncing ball, and he was just feeling stuck, right? And then so we got him to Play From Day One, and I told him, because he was saying that he's a singer, and I said, that's a superpower, man. Like, if you're able to sing, that's just a superpower, because all we got to do is just add some guitar to your voice, and it's going to sound great. And like, there's not that much you need to do on guitar to make your voice sound great and supported. So anyway, so he did it. Long story short, Philip is just crushing it. It was him and his wife's anniversary just the other day, and he played and sang Wonderful Tonight, and it sounded awesome. And that's in less than 90 days. I mean, that was incredible. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up, one, to put the spotlight on Philip, that I want to give a round of applause for him, because that is just epic. Anytime I see fast results like that, it's just amazing. And also another thing is that Philip got a little bit. So I expose people to different techniques in Play From Day One, and a lot of that is so that you can be exposed to a lot of things. But what can happen is you might get precious with it, and like, I know Philip got a little bit stuck on one little thing for I think a week or a couple of weeks, and I told him, listen, man, let's loosen the grip and let's actually just keep moving forward and learning more songs. And right now it's about learning songs and all that, similar to what I did with this track, where I was getting precious with that, and I kind of like snapped out of it for a second. I'm just like, whoa, I've got a countdown here, I've got a timer. I've got to breeze through. I've got to get this thing going. Don't be precious. Make this thing happen. Hop on stage. If I play that, all I need to play is the first part. Boom, bam, boom, ba-dum. And seriously, like, it's never going back again. You know that it's Fleetwood Mac. You don't have to think about all the little bits and pieces there. So I wanted to bring that up because Philip, when you're saying that you're having a hard time with any chords other than superglue, that's totally fine, brother, because it's still less than 90 days. Like, I've seen guys struggle for years without being able to do anything even close to what you're doing. And so in my world, you get results. We go into this sort of like this world where we're getting all these wins and playing music, but we also have to remember that we're getting quick wins, and sometimes there's things that take a little bit of time to develop. And if you were, you know, less than 3 months old, you're like an infant. You know, if you're not playing, if you're playing guitar for, let's say, like less than 3 months, then you're an infant. And so like there's gonna be things that are still hard, even though you're able to do a lot of things. Those things that you're able to do are like your confidence boosters. You hop on stage, you can play, and then the other things are studies. You can keep getting better and better. And I wanted to just shine a light on that, because it's like, great, you got all of these things, all these songs that you can play and sing now, and those, when the going gets tough with some more, you know, twisting and turning, proper cowboy chord shapes, then you go back to the songs that you can play with super glue, and you feel good, and it'll keep you patient, it'll keep you confident as you work through that. And as we work through it together, obviously we're going to work through those chord shapes together. But I just wanted to bring that up, because it's a great point, you know, that you might be having a hard time with that, and a lot of people do. Some chords are hard. Sometimes, whether I don't cut my nails short enough, or my guitar, my action isn't adjusted, or I'm playing that acoustic it doesn't play that well anymore, and it's hard. Some chord changes are still hard to execute. So don't worry, man, you're doing great. And for anybody struggling with, you know, cowboy chords or proper chords, make sure there are things you know how to play. If you are listening to this and you're not in play from day one, and you need help playing something that sounds like music, please contact me, because it's important that you're able to play music. It's very, very important. We don't want a dusty guitar. We don't want overwhelm or anything like that to take over. It's nice work, Philip. Always revert to super glue when frustrated. Good stuff, buddy. That's the stuff right there. And then soon there'll be some chords that you can do twisting and turning, and you'll revert to those, and you'll have songs that that you can do with those chords, and we just can do some super glue and fill in those, like A minor or something like that, let's say, and fill that in. And then you just keep growing that toolbox and that arsenal and that confidence, because now you're able to play these songs over here. And then, so it's not like you only have to do super glue and you only have to do proper chords like cowboy chords. You can mix and match and just start integrating more and more proper chords to get more color into the super glue. So awesome. That's great to hear, brother. That's really great. Pete is saying, I would think one would need to move their fingers more than you really need to. Yeah. So Pete, you're talking about like on Never Going Back Again. See, I was holding the shape quite a bit, and if you see the tab, it kind of looks like there's a lot of moves there. You might not know exactly to hold down that chord sort of thing. Yeah, I hear that for sure. So anybody want to tell me what you've been working on? If you have any questions, we've just got about less than 10 minutes here, and then we'll get on with our night. So just let me know. I'm gonna have a quick drink of water. That was fun. That was a really fun riff. This was a tricky pajama jam, and Lindsey Buckingham, man, I should have known. He's got some tough stuff for sure. Big Love was one of the ones that I did. I was practicing a little while ago, as well as The Chain. Yeah, any Fleetwood Mac. Man, Lindsey Buckingham is so underrated. It's crazy. He's a great guitar player. Learning his riffs is definitely a study for sure to improve your playing. Yeah. So, well, I mean, let me know if there's anything that you're working on, even if you're not having trouble with it. Just let me know what you've been working on. And I'm just checking my notes over here. I mean, that's pretty much it. As far as for me, like we've got there's a cool opportunity for anybody who is looking to play, like what I was talking about, Phil surprised me. Phil's taking his guitar skills, and he used that as a kind of like an anniversary gift, or like, if not the whole gift, a part of the gift. And man, that must have been awesome. Phil, let us know your wife's reaction, because that's just epic. So one of the things that I'm doing right now, I help people to perform a song for a loved one, for the birthday or for special occasion, and that's one of the things that I'm running this week as well for anybody who is not a Play From Day One member. For anybody who is a Play From Day One member, any of the extra videos or extra training that I might offer to any new members as a bonus, just know that you get all that stuff. If I didn't mention that before, I always like to take care of my family. So if you're already in Play From Day One, then definitely there's videos that'll be coming out that you'll have access to. With regards to different things other than just playing notes on the guitar. Like, it'll be more like experiential things, like how to set certain things up. So Philip is saying she's amazed and says she listens to that when she needs to be cheered up. That's so awesome, dude. That's amazing. That's really great. Let's see here. And Philip's also saying trying to play in color by Jamie Johnson, and there's an F and A minor, but not for superglue. Okay, so Philip, definitely reach out. Let me know some of the chords, like the chord progression, and then we'll work through it. Totally. So Ken Pollock working on Through the Trees. Very cool. Looking at making sure that the chords are clear, and yeah, also reach out to me and let me know let me know what chords there are, what you're going to do, the strategy you're going to use. You know, this is what you get when you're with me, is just like reach out and let's have a discussion about it, and then we'll see how to make it happen. And Philip's saying she said it's the best gift ever. Oh my god, that's amazing. So happy for you, man. That is exactly, it's so crazy how just need to learn just a little bit in order to be able to perform like that, and just really make a special moment for someone. And I don't know if Lois Anna is still here, but Lois Anna was telling me how she was having a great time playing guitar, and she just started playing, and after a long day at work, like, she was just like thinking about guitar all day, and she had a stressful day, and she just came home, played guitar for her son, and her dog was there, and just like these special moments, you know, these are things you just never forget. You always remember this stuff. So I'm very, very happy to be a part of that. Pete Graham saying, I haven't seen any tab for John Mayer's Free Fallin', just a tutorial. I think the tab would throw me off. Yeah, it's a good point too. It might. Yeah, it might, because it doesn't, tabs sometimes are deceiving. Like what I was doing there on the Fleetwood Mac tune is, it looks like it's moving all over the place with the tab, but really like my hands are kind of in one spot, and it's more like I'm just finger picking. So it's possible that it might throw you off. But yeah, Pete, I'd love to hear where you're at with that one. That's great. John Mayer that's pretty much my favorite guitar player right there, and studying his stuff was also very eye-opening. I was incorporated so much different technique, like with that one, having the thumb up top and fretting, kind of like Hendrix, was something that I pretty much learned from John Mayer and learning his riffs. So yeah, that's John Mayer. Studying any John Mayer is going to be helpful. Lindsey Buckingham, these iconic guitar players, studying their riffs is way better than anything else that you can do. You can learn everything that you need to know from that, because you can start recognizing patterns, and if you need to dig deeper, you can. But like maybe he used the Lydian mode here, but you don't need to know the Lydian mode first in order to be able to play. Learn the songs first. That's what I think. Learn the songs, and then you can dig in deeper later. Lois Anna is saying, working on Coldplay, Viva La Vida, such a satisfying rhythm. Coldplay, one of my favorite bands of all time. Super melodic. That's a great song. Can't wait to hear that one. That's great, Lois Anna. Awesome. So, unless there's anybody else who wants to let me know what's up, we'll wrap this one up. That was great. I'm going to relax my hand right now, and I'm going to I'm going to enjoy the rest of the night. I think maybe I'll watch an episode of Making a Murderer with with my wife. That's anybody who hasn't watched that show. That's a crazy, crazy show. So I'm gonna watch that. Don't watch too much TV in the past little while, just because I've been busy with a bunch of things. But definitely when there's a good show on, it's good to kind of unwind, and especially that one. That one kind of gets you thinking. So cool. Awesome. And Pete, we should work on this together. Awesome, Pete. Yeah, you just let me know, buddy. Just reach out and let me know, and then we can schedule something if we need to. Cool. And Ken, you're welcome, buddy. Also, if you can, you were mentioning also you might want to work on something as well. So feel free to reach out, guys. I'm an open book, open door. Just let me know what you need. We'll figure out how to make that happen. Definitely very, very, very happy to help. So, and Philip, glued to Making a Murderer. Yeah, it's good. It's a good one. No spoilers or anything. I think I only watched a couple episodes of season 2. So, anyway, all right, guys, that's 1 hour. Thank you so much for joining tonight. This was a fun one. Put in also, requests and see. I'm open to requests. This song, I would have never thought to do this song, but it was just a conversation that I had with someone, and I just listened to the track. I was like, yeah, this would be awesome. So if you have any suggestions, I'm game to try it out. Anyway, I hope you have a great night. It was such a blast hanging out with you, and we'll see you in the next Pajama Jam. Take care.